lot of Star Wars news that recently came out, and there's about to be a whole heck of a lot more with the media push starting this week for Episode 9. So before all those interviews and crazy photos come out, let's talk about the most important recent Star Wars news.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
First, and speaking of media pushes, Pablo Hidalgo talked about how if you don't want spoilers for Episode 9, maybe stop looking online. So he tweeted, "The media push for Space Movie 9, The Rising, starts this week. Even if you're sticking to quote-unquote official sources, you may want to consider drawing your online curtains to avoid seeing something you'd rather not." I feel like if you're the type of person that minds spoilers, you wouldn't be on this channel. But if you know people that do mind spoilers, tell them, hey, this is what they're saying. Maybe be a little bit more careful. Speaking of spoilers, though, they're delaying up to 70% of Episode 9 merchandise because of potential spoilers. Force Ghost Anakin. They're hiding Force Ghost Anakin in The Rise of Skywalker. Don't dash my hopes. Hasbro's Senior Director of Global Marketing, Mike Balog, shared how they're releasing merchandise for Episode 9 on their part, saying, "We have clear conversations about what can come out when and what needs to stay under wraps. We work around things with that in mind. At least from a Hasbro standpoint, the product on display is maybe 30 to 35% of our full line." So there is a ton of merchandise that is not going to be released until Episode 9 comes out in theaters. Paul Southerner, the Senior VP of Licensing at Lucasfilm, also shared about this delayed release of merchandise for Episode 9, saying, "The key thing here is when we release products a couple months in advance of the film, we are focusing on a very select group. There are products that you're not seeing, that you won't see until after the film comes out. Even the characters that we are releasing, we're not really giving you much narrative for them." So that means even stuff you buy before Episode 9, merchandise, toys, and all that, there's not going to be spoilery summaries on the back of them like we see with Black Series and stuff like that. And I completely understand why they're doing this and why they're delaying the release of stuff that could spoil Episode 9. I mean, it's the final film in the Skywalker saga. They're drawing close all the other films, so they want to keep it as under wraps as possible. But on the other hand, maybe just start releasing some of the non-important background characters and cause a bunch of us to just freak out and speculate on it. It'd be hilarious. Because they've done that before. They'll release a toy for a character that does fucking nothing in the movie. And then we all speculate and go crazy over it, and then it was just some background character that didn't even sometimes make it into the film. Hilarious shit. Alright, let's move on to people being excited that Mara Jade was going to be in Episode 9 or be made into Star Wars canon again because there was some graffiti in a bathroom at Galaxy's Edge that said Mara Jade lives. So you may have seen the photo someone posted claiming they found Mara Jade lives written on a stall in Galaxy's Edge, and this led to wild speculation that Disney is now dropping clues about canon in their bathrooms. This is like some next level stuff. But it turns out that was quickly dismissed not only by a Lucasfilm story group member that confirmed they didn't put that there, but also the poster themselves admitted, yeah, I lied, I didn't really find this in a Galaxy's Edge stall. And this, kids, is why you should always have trust issues. So I'm sorry to those that wanted her to be canon again. Honestly, I feel like it would be kind of hard to fit her in now and do her character justice, but I do think there are a few ways they could have her be canon again and it still be pretty epic. But I guess that would be a different video. In other news, Jeff Garlin went on a podcast and revealed he's in Episode 9 and that he guesses it should be a secret, but he doesn't have any lines anyways. So on his role in The Rise of Skywalker, he shared, "I'm one of those people that's in it and you go, who's that? That looks, because I think people will know that it's me. I'm not gonna tell the tell, I don't want to do that, but I am in it. I work with the C-3PO guy, who, by the way, wears the outfit literally. He's a very proper, very kind gentleman, but he takes it very seriously. Crazy seriously. He was very focused and serious. Anthony Daniels being psychotically serious about his role as C-3PO? Also, Jeff kept getting in the shot in episode 9, and JJ had to keep yelling at him to stay out of the shot. So maybe his character is large, or this guy just was not standing in the right places. Moving on, Star Wars Resistance is ending with its second season, something we already knew and has been pretty shocking. And we also now know that we're getting 19 episodes in the second and last season. But recently they shared why it's only getting 2 seasons, and it's because the second season of Resistance goes right into the Rise of Skywalker. And they had always planned to end it with 2 seasons, so it's not like, oh, they're canceling it because it wasn't popular enough. Also, there were some hints that we might see some characters from the show in other future canon. Maybe episode 9, wink wink, nudge nudge. On episode 9, JJ talked a bit about bringing Palpatine back and touched on briefly the backlash on that. So he shared, "Some people feel like we shouldn't revisit the idea of Palpatine, and I completely understand that. But if you're looking at these 9 films as one story, I don't know many books where the last few chapters have nothing to do with those that have come before. If you look at the first 8 films, all the setups of what we're doing in 9 are there in plain view." Which goes along with Lucasfilm recently saying that Palpatine has always been the overarching villain of all 3 trilogies, and that they were always building towards this. Also, I'm hoping that means Palpatine was manipulating Snoke. Also, there's no way we don't get Force Ghost Anakin. I'm not gonna let this go. I want Force Ghost Anakin. Fuck you. Oh, I also talked about JJ explaining why Kylo reforges his helmet in episode 9, so I won't go over that, but that's my latest video if you want to check that out. We got a small excerpt on Resistance Reborn where Leia is talking to Rey and telling her, hey, we can't save Ben. Ben has to save himself, and I'm really hoping that's what happens in episode 9, and this is a big hint towards it, because I don't think Kylo should be brought to the light by someone else. I think he needs to make the choice himself and save himself. Also, for people that are anti-Reylo, in this excerpt, Leia can tell that Rey is really into her son, so I'm really sorry for what they're building towards. Oh, and on Kylo and Rey's feelings for each other, JJ did say we are going to explore more of their complicated relationship with each other, which probably means they both still really want to fuck each other, which is complicated because one is Space Hitler and the other one, I don't know, Rey just doesn't remind me of someone that has a lot of fun in bed. I could be wrong. Ooh, and here's something I'm really excited about. The Knights of Ren do have individual names, and even though merchandise coming out right now just says Knight of Ren and doesn't actually have their name, it's just because their names weren't finalized before they needed to submit it for product production. I don't know why the Knights of Ren didn't have individual names a few years ago, but I guess they just didn't, so they will have names. I don't know. I'm still betting, actually, that they don't have names in episode 9, but their names are in the visual dictionary that they always release for each film. We also got some sexy Knights of Ren photos, which I am really digging. I'm tired of being blueballed with the Knights of Ren, and I mean, just look at these sexy boys. And as always, I really hope the Knights of Ren gangbang Rey. Finally, on directing news, Kevin Feige is going to make a Star Wars movie, which at first I was all for because the man is basically a genius, but then I remembered I'm so sick of the Marvel Cinematic Universe formula that is just done over and over again, and I really don't think what works for the MCU works for Star Wars. So I'm excited because I think this guy's great. But at the other side of that, I'm a little worried because what works for Marvel does not work for Star Wars. And I'm hoping he knows that. He has to, right? Guy's a genius. And if you haven't heard, Deborah Chow is directing all the episodes for the live-action Obi-Wan TV series that will be on Disney+. don't have a lot of opinions on her, really, so I don't have much to add on that one. Okay, so that is your Star Wars news. If you're anti-Reylo and any of this news is making you super nervous, let me know in the comment section down below.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.